Hi, I'm Macie Leach from SPU Rowing, and I'm a sophomore this year.
Macie, just want to find out, what was it like after more than a year away from racing to finally be on the water against another crew?
It was pretty crazy. I mean, there's only so much like inter-squad scrimmaging you can do against your own team, and it's a very different experience going out against other crews. Just the adrenaline and all those other feelings that you get, it's pretty good.
Was there any extra emotion as you got to the start line about you worked so hard to get to this point through the pandemic and everything? Any unique emotions that you haven't had in previous races?
Yeah, it was definitely interesting because, like, with last year being my first year and I've only actually ever had one race besides this race, and then going into it thinking like, okay, I know the course, but this is a whole new year, a whole new season, everything's different. It was pretty surreal, honestly, of just feeling all those things for the first time all over again.
You mentioned your first race last year. That was at the same venue, American Lake in
Yes.
Lakewood. After that race, that was the season opener in 2020. Obviously, the team had planned on a full 2020 season. What do you remember when, right before your next race in 2020, the season was canceled?
It was very interesting because we were actually racing the same teams that we're going to be racing this upcoming weekend, and I think it was Wednesday or something that everything just got canceled, everything got cut, and I just remember the disappointment of like how excited and ready we were for the rest of the season and everything to come, and then for it to all get cut short was really disappointing. So it's cool that we get to have that experience this year.
Great. The pandemic also impacted training. You have not been training in eights very much for social distancing purposes.
Yeah.
What has training been like leading up to this point?
So pretty much all of fall we were in fours, which is great if you're racing in a four. You get a lot of practice there, but it's definitely different, and it's a different type of boat and different for boat feel. So then when we were able to get granted the opportunity to be in eights at the beginning of January, that was also a really cool experience of just getting to be back out on the water. By that point it had been like 8 or 9 months since we had even been in a boat, like all 8 of us. So it definitely has been different, and we were really missing that fall training and fall racing season, but I think we were able to get it together. So,
with all of those things going on, how did you feel about today's races?
Given everything, I thought we put out a pretty solid performance of just getting out there, doing what we needed to do. Obviously, the conditions there were very much less than optimal, but I think we did good with what we had.
For people who've never pulled an oar, I'm not sure they realize you go 2,000 meters and give it your all, get a little break, and then you're expected to go and do another 2,000. How do you collect yourself and get your body ready again, and how difficult was that today?
It was pretty challenging. It was pretty challenging, pretty tiring. I think for me it's a lot of just as soon as you can, just talk about what happened, what you want to do better, and then taking a little bit of rest time so you can sit, eat, get warm again before you have to change clothes and get back out on the water as fast as you can.
I'm going to talk about one logistical dynamic of this regatta. The normal park, Harry Todd Park, was closed for renovations, so you were at the opposite side of the lake without a dock to launch off of. Just talk about how that worked.
So that's called beach launching, and it's actually common some places, but usually not in Washington because it's a little bit colder here. So instead of standing on the dock and putting the boat in the water, you actually have to wade into about knee-deep water and then put the boat in, and then there's a certain order you get in the boat and all that kinds of stuff. But it definitely resulted in a lot of pairs of socks today. So
certainly. Great. Well, thankfully next week you won't have to worry about the beach launching. Go from docks. You mentioned before it's the same teams coming in, Central Oklahoma, Western Washington, two rivals from Division II, and both national caliber teams. Your thoughts on them coming again and getting to race such high caliber competition?
I'm very, very excited for this weekend. I think it's going to be really cool, and it's going to be even cooler to be on our home course and be able to row in the canal, which we get to row in every day, so we might have a little bit of home waterway advantage, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an intense week of training, and then we'll get to finish it off with an awesome race, so I'm really excited.
Great. And then wrapping up, let's just talk real briefly about yourself. Tell us where you're from.
I'm from Chico, California, so it's about an hour and a half north of Sacramento, so it's a pretty small town. We don't really have rowing there, so.
Perfect. And why did you decide to come to Saddle Pacific?
So I'm a nursing major, and they have a really good nursing program here. So that was one of my main reasons. And then I came and visited the campus, and I was just like, I can be myself here. I really like it. So that was another one of my main deciding factors.
Great. Well, Macie, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on good racing today, and good luck next week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.